It's time for Criminal Law 101
with criminal defense attorney Ken Eulo from the law firm of Smith Eulo
on 101.1 WJRR.
We are Orlando's rock station.
Whoa. We got breaking news, people.
Direct from Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow minutes ago. 6 more weeks of winter.
Okay.
On this Groundhog Day. As we welcome in Ken Eulo, criminal defense attorney Ken Eulo from Smith Eulo. Interesting way to get our attention today, buddy. Taco.
This was good. We have this little iPad thing in the waiting area of our office.
Yeah, when you come up from the off the elevator, you can't just walk into the suite. There's a little vestibule there.
And Ken had no phone to get in touch with us, so he messaged Pat, myself, and our buddy Allie in sales and said, food delivery, because he knew it would get our attention if we saw food. Pat looks, hey, either Ken is here or there's a food delivery for us. Ken, I've never been more upset to see you, other than food. I expected food, dude.
I know, right? I even tried doing a prize delivery. I mixed a prize delivery in there.
Any kind of message you could get that you thought would be beamed over to. But the inside joke is radio people
love
descend upon free food like like you have been stranded at sea for 10 days and haven't had anything to drink or eat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was smart. There was 4 options. I think there was like prize delivery, food, and visitor. So I hit all 3 of them.
That's the lawyer in you using your noggin.
You're here, and that's the important part. All right, 22526 is our text line. Ken is a criminal defense attorney. If you have some criminal law-related question, be more than happy to put that in front of Ken and get his take on it. I get something I wanted to ask you about that we see in the news a lot, and we'll get to that. Dude, we have some questions come in there, Taco?
Yes, we do. Question for Ken. Wife was involved in a hit and run. Nobody injured. So I think it's still a misdemeanor. Police said they tried to get a hold of the person and find the car. After 3 attempts, they gave up. Question is it worth pursuing any criminal charges against this family that is denying anything and is gone?
I mean, I think people have to make a, risk assessment in their own life to say, is it worth my energy? Is it worth my time? I mean, there's not going to be any special monetary award that comes out of it, right? I mean, maybe there's a help to your insurance. You have to kind of look to see how it all worked out. But I mean, for the most part, Florida is going to cover you. Your insurance is going to cover you, even if it was a hit and run. So you should be taken care of in terms of getting your car fixed and things like that. These hit and run cases are not always the easiest to prove, especially where you don't have a clean ID on the person. You have, this incident that happens. It's very quick. Person drives off, and it's like, how do we determine that was actually the person behind the wheel of the car? We have the car, and we have the, who we think it is, but how do we prove it actually was that person?
With all the cameras and stuff, you'd think you could prove it, and then this person had damage to their car, so you could, the paint swap look.
Yeah, I mean, look, it happens. I mean, we have tons of cases that we defend that are hit and run cases all the time. But the reality is that it's not always the easiest to prove.
I saw something the other day and I had to do a double take. It's like, how can that be? And I don't know if it's the only state, but the piece I read seemed to indicate New Hampshire, you don't have to have car insurance. You don't have, there's some other thing profile that you have to meet the threshold of in order to not have to purchase car insurance. I don't know if it's ability to demonstrate that you're got so much to your name or what, but I believe it's New Hampshire.
You're going to send me down a rabbit hole here real quick.
Live free or die, literally.
I think that they take it to the absolute extreme because I think that's horrible. Any state that doesn't require car insurance. I think Florida, to be honest with you.
I know motorcycle insurance is a different situation, but
I mean, for example, in Florida, I think that they should take it way farther than they do, right? Like Florida only mandates that, that you have the vehicle protected. That's it, right?
Right.
They don't require physical injury. Think about this. You have somebody that doesn't have much money, right? I mean, they
life can be destroyed or ended.
Yeah.
They could crash into somebody. It's their fault. They paralyze somebody, right? And that person has no recourse. All they can do is sue that person individually. They have no money. So how are they ever going to recover for their hospital bills and things like that? I think that Florida should actually take it further, to be honest with you.
Wait, one more time. You think what?
I think Florida should take it way farther than they do.
More stringent requirements.
I do. I just can't imagine that you're on the road and you're allowed to do something that ruins somebody's entire life and there's no protection against it. There should be something out there that protects it.
Yeah. Well,
it's just...
They say get no fault. We hear that a lot. Make sure that you check your insurance to make sure you have the Florida no fault.
That's what he's saying. There's only a certain cap on when you get in even the worst horrible situation.
Still,
100,000, 50,000. I mean, what person's carrying around $1 million in no fault, insurance? I mean,
True.
like, or $2 million in no fault. I mean, nobody does that.
Nah, good point.
Nerf cars, Bob.
I know.
You were on that 20 years ago.
And I can't take credit. It was my brother's idea. Nerf cars, and then I invented bubble wrap cars.
Yeah, cars should be made out of Nerf material.
Not a bad idea. Especially if you don't have insurance.
If all cars...
Look, he's uninsured. He's driving the Nerf mobile.
It's just like the Guardian helmet in football. If you got rid of all cars, trucks, vehicles, period, made everything Nerf, instead of electric, going that stupid... Okay, I take that back. If you made everything Nerf...
I mean, I actually
and the price of Nerf would be through the roof.
I actually love the balance, right? Like, you drive the Nerf if you can't afford the insurance, and then you can upgrade to a real car
when you can.
If you just said, "Hey, I'm going to pay for worst case scenario, and we're going to have the right insurance for it," but otherwise, you're driving the Nerf.
But in Bob's world, everybody would be Nerf. We'd get rid of all cars. It would be everybody Nerf. So, I mean, when you got in an
Nerf e-bikes? Because that's another big issue now.
Everything's Nerf, vehicle-wise. and Nerf motorcycles. And when you get in an accident, it's kind of like fun. Because look, and then you shoot over into a lake, and you just float because you're in a Nerf car.
So people are actually encouraged to get into accidents now.
Yeah, it's just bumper cars on I-4 rather than bumper to bumper.
Somebody texted in, if I witness an assault on a law enforcement officer, how far am I allowed to go in his defense? So you see an officer in a scuffle and he's getting beat down pretty much. How far can this person go to defend that cop?
Should they?
I mean, the reality is if you're, called as a witness, you're going to have to testify. I mean, that's just, the subpoena will come in.
Would you be covered as Good Samaritan in a situation like that? If you're by yourself and you're seeing an officer trying to, take someone into custody or whatever, and they're getting the short end of it?
So there's certain people that are required to be kind of good Samaritan reporters and things like that. But for the most part, people are not obligated to take affirmative action and do things. People are kind of allowed to live their life and they don't have to engage in assisting people and being. Now, again,
this person wants to though.
Go for it.
Yeah.
If you want to, you absolutely could. The reality is there's going to be court dates. There's going to be depositions. There's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do. So if you want to involve yourself, I think it's good that you're standing up.
Be ready to be fully involved.
Yeah, be ready to go. It's a good thing. You're involved in the process. You're involved in helping somebody out who got assaulted. I think that's a very, very noble thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Before we wrap up this morning, I want to ask you about this because you hear about this in the news a lot, especially recently. Some of these cities that have a policy which is known as cashless bail. Mm-hmm. It seems like a counterintuitive term. If there's no cash put down for a bail, you're just taken into custody, then released shortly thereafter for a whole variety of things that you could be guilty of.
So I think it's you're gonna find my answer to be opposite what you think, right? So I actually think that most forms of cashless bail are actually better for society than bonds. And bond agents who are listening are like, how dare you say that? Because they're losing out on their money, right? But you have all kinds of versions of cashless bail. For example, pretrial release. And pretrial release is actually, if I was arrested, I would prefer to just pay some cash and be done with it and get out.
I think I had that this weekend.
Right?
Pretrial release.
I don't want to have to
every day.
I don't want to have to report to like a probation officer every month. I don't want to have to take drug tests every month. I don't want to have to go and be responsible for almost like a mini probation up until your case is resolved. So a lot of these quote cashless bail systems are actually more stringent than a cash system where you just pay your money and take off.
If the person who's been released adheres to the requirements, which they have
to, though, because if they don't, they're going to get rearrested and they're going to go back to jail. So you're basically making the people more accountable and have to go through all these steps. And if they don't show up, they're going to go to jail.
I see. I didn't realize that part.
You keep hearing example after example where someone's released on a cashless bail for whatever the charge may be, and then they turn around and do something that's even worse while they're out. And, you're like, and then now it becomes the Monday morning quarterback situation.
I'm telling you, I used to get, calls when I used to be at the public defender's office 15 years ago. I started off and I was over at the initial appearance, and I would always argue for my clients, get out, no bond, get out, come on, ROR, PT,
right.
And you have the bail agents, the bond agents just pulling their hair out, like how, why are you fighting for this? Argue for argue for a bond amount, But I mean, I actually think that it, put yourself in the shoes of the person being arrested. Wouldn't you rather just pay the cash and be done versus having to follow up every single month with a probation officer?
Again, it depends on.
You would.
It also depends on if you're a habitual criminal.
But also,
I think the answer to that's my answer. I'm not a habitual criminal. So.
You know what you have to realize also is, okay, if it's cashless bond, that judge can say, I'm granting no bond, and you're just staying in. If it's a bad enough crime, they don't give you bond, period.
Sure.
Cashless or not.
Right. All right.
So there is that option.
Ken Eulo. From Smith Eulo. If you ever need to get a hold of these guys, they're a great criminal defense firm. What's the route to go there, Taco?
Smith, ANDEULO, SmithandEulo.com. And you can hit Ken directly at ken@SmithandEulo.com.
Appreciate it, Ken, even though, you duped us with the food thing.
Next time I'll bring some food for you guys.
Chick-fil-A is always good.
All right. DJ's heart, man, you know it.
Looking at some
We're not here to save the world, just a soundtrack it's collapsing.
JRR.